Okay, so the Irish Times, the lead this morning is we have to do something different. Kavanagh. So also there yesterday at sorry, this wasn't.
He was only available to print group interviews.
Okay, grand. So. This is Colin Kavanagh saying we have to do something different to try and beat Dublin. The other papers ignore the headlines like we have to believe that we're going to win. So, do you think he was reading Jim McGuinness about how to beat Dublin, wrestle them to a 0-0?
Potentially, yeah. I think that's just common logic anyway, isn't it? I think that...
No, the common logic is you have to go and be brave and score 332, and because they're going to score 350 against you.
That is something different, no?
What?
Like the being brave, the kind of throwing caution to the winds. Like ultimately...
No, that's the one that that is the received wisdom that the three wise men have said. This is the only way, there is no other way. You must not engage in any other, all other gods are false. This is the one true God. You must go out there and beat Dublin in a shootout because, let's face it, that's the only way you're going to do it. Like, well, in a shootout, I'm taking a gun to a knife fight?
Yeah.
To a gunfight?
Well, if they take a gun to a knife fight, then Tyrone have a hell of a chance. But I don't think Tyrone have been living by that religion to keep the gods speak up for a few moments here. They never have. They've always been doing something different. I think that's what Kavanagh's talking about there. Is it like, are you really sitting in suspense there when you read those comments? That it's like, whoa, I wonder what Mickey Hart's going to pull out of the bag.
Yeah, totally. Like, if he goes for the absolute extreme lockdown that Jim McGuinness suggests, then this is going to be one of the worst games of Gaelic football, but one of the most interesting games of Gaelic football that you're ever going to see.
Yeah, it's kind of like...
It's not on that point, right? Like, at half-time, stupidly, at the All-Ireland final, Hurling final, I looked at my Twitter feed and it was full of people going, well, Jesus, which one of the pundits is going to say this is a shite game? And I'm like, why, if you don't think the game is any good, why do you need someone on TV to kind of give you that black cross on your forehead to go, yeah, it's not a great game?
Yeah.
Like, are they there to sit in judgment of the quality of the game, or are they there to explain why teams aren't actually performing to their optimum? What do we want from our pundits?
Maybe we as a nation just want to see Joe Brawley, Pat Spillane and Colin O'Rourke happy. We just want to see them enjoy some football. Maybe that's all we want. Maybe we don't want analysis. We don't want to learn anything about the game. All I want to know at halftime is, geez, I really hope Joe Brawley's having a good time there in the box. I really hope he's enjoying that game of football. Like, it's good. I do hope it's the worst game of all time. Like, I'm not sure. Have you seen that movie, The Room, which is like constantly regarded as the worst movie ever made? It's brilliant because it's the worst movie ever made. Like, exactly. If like that Gareth A. Davies was compared to recently on Twitter, which I thought was brilliant. If this is the worst game of football ever played.
You know, Joseph was outside busily tweeting, copying Gareth A. Davies, Tommy Wiseau, in the hope that Tommy, which he will retweet, and just make sure you tag Owen in that, Joseph, and not me, please.
But the thing is, like, if this is the footballing version of The Room, then we're all going to be very, very happy. It's all going to be amazing.
No, you just know it'll be the darkest, bleakest winter of people gurning and giving out and moaning and rule changes and shite. Like, there will be, like, think of the endless hours of crap you're going to have to talk about, putting a limit on the number of hand passes and, like, getting into schools and teaching them the lost art of the kick pass. No thanks. No.
Like, I think that's all part of the theatre around it, seeing those people go absolutely crazy. Like, I do maintain that if it's a middling game and Tyrone are semi-defensive, they'll get beaten, and also we'll hate it more than we would if it was the worst game ever.
Dublin will just wear them down over the 80 minutes of the All-Ireland final or whatever it is. Okay, so let's move on to the Times Ireland edition, and this terrible story of Michael O'Shea embodied everything positive about the GAA, says John Horan, the association's president, after the former Clare footballer died last night. He was aged 37. He died after an illness of developing cancer. His club, St Senan's Kilkee, said in a statement, "Our hearts are absolutely aching today with the pain of the loss of our brother Michael O'Shea, arguably the greatest footballer ever to wear the blue and white jersey of St Senan's Kilkee. Michael passed away in the loving arms of his family." You know, somebody so young and vital and healthy, and this cancer touches so many families in Ireland, and we send our condolences to everybody involved and to the family and to the club and to the county at large. Unhappy Jose will not quit. Of course he's not going to quit because then he doesn't get a payoff. And then West Ham and new legal round. This is the continuing madness around the London Stadium. So during the summer the London Stadium was used for athletics, and there's like this big board of West Ham's Roll of Honour that got taken down for the athletics because it was the London Stadium. The London Stadium put up their own banner saying, "This is for everyone." It's in blue and white, which the West Ham fans think is some kind of subtle Spursian thing, because, you know, everybody's out to get you when you're a West Ham fan, even though they gave you the stadium for nothing and you managed to make a complete ruination of it.
What colour are Millwall?
Millwall are blue and white.
Well, there you go.
Chelsea, blue and white.
There you go.
You know, loads of blue and white, also good colours for a poster.
Wait, am I just sticking up for West Ham fans here?
Yeah.
You would assume that the Millwall connection is probably a little bit more touching than the Spurs. Like, Spurs are never really associated with blue.
No, and they're the ones that the West Ham fans think.
Yeah.
So. That stadium's cursed. They should move on. They should say this is a pity. It didn't work out. We're going somewhere else. We need a new home with like a properly football designed stadium for football as opposed to an athletics track. Also, West Ham should get over themselves at this stage. And then there's a 2-page spread from Shane Stapleton, which I'm sure he'll go through in detail today on the Hurling show, which is coming your way. It's the final one of the season for now.
It's proof. That piece is proof that it was a 1-point hammering for Limerick, I think.
Yeah, and then, sorry, if you could just lift your technology, I'll take you through what's going on in the Examiner and the Times, or the Indo, sorry, the Independent. Those photographs that we showed you on yesterday morning show here on OTB AM, Casement Park, the pictures of the ragwort, and so they've spoken to somebody from the Ulster Council Secretary. It's an unfortunate situation, and all we can do is push for a decision. Redevelopment in Casement Park remains a top priority for us, and the Antrim County Secretary said we need Casement Park redeveloped. It's as simple as that. But yeah, they're the photographs that we showed you on the show yesterday that the Antrim County Board tweeted the night before from their Twitter handles. So I don't know, maybe if the Rugby World Cup thing had happened, Casement would have been fast-tracked, and who knows, maybe losing the Rugby World Cup means that the Stormont executive didn't have to come back, and actually a lot of this chaos comes from our inability to win a bid that seemed pretty straightforward for us to win.
Are you saying that the Rugby World Cup would have saved the power struggle in the north?
Yeah, that's it.
Well, sport is a powerful thing, I guess. Shane Ross could have fixed it all if he just put a little bit more work into, you know, schmoozing the international executive. The Scots, just basically.
Get our buddies on board. Get our Celtic cousins on board there. Do whatever you have to do to get them on board. No. The Scots.
We could have promised Scotland that we would start teaching their version of Gaelic in school, or, you know, we could have promised the Welsh that we'd start teaching Welsh.
We'll come and visit you.
Yeah, we will. More tourism for you.
Yeah, exactly. Kenny on Daisha radar to take over from McGrath's is another Martin Brownie story. Matty Kenny, who led Dublin champions Coola to the last 2 All-Ireland senior club hurling titles, could be on his way to Waterford as Derek McGrath's replacement. He's a top target among Waterford power brokers who are impressed by his achievements. Power brokers. Impressing the power brokers is an important thing. It's like one of the keys to victory in Irish society and life. Impress the power brokers, Owen. That's what you got to do.
Like, what are these? Like, who are these implicit power brokers you're talking about? Like, who are the people I've got to impress?
Anywhere in any room that you're ever in, you need to do a quick.
And most importantly, how do you have the opportunity to broker power?
Oh, I don't know.
Just become chairman of a county board.
It gets handed down to you, you know. I'd say there's a lot of shy talking involved.
If you can talk shy, you can broke power, as the old saying goes.
Showing up to meetings and being awake at the end when the actions are handed out to remember what you have to do. That's the main thing.
Sounds like Congress.
Yeah, exactly. Pat Ryan was the early favourite to replace McGrath, but he's ruled himself out. Kenny looks an ideal fit after doing so well with Coola. Coola would be reluctant to let him go. Can't really stop him though, can they? If he wants to do it.
No, it's a big step up. Like, you don't know what's going to happen with Coola. Like, going for 3 in a row in an All-Ireland club would be absolutely unprecedented. It would be unbelievable. So maybe there's part of that, and maybe he feels his stock is so high as a club manager at the moment that he can wait another year. The only thing is, where will the job be available next year? Does Davy just give it 1 more year? Like, it seems like Pat Gilroy is going to stay there for another few years. Obviously, that was the job that Matty Kenny got overlooked for previously. But that would suggest that Kenny was willing to leave Coola if the reports are to be believed, that he would have taken that Dublin job. But then again, he's used to training in Dublin and all that sort of stuff. So Waterford, maybe geographically, logistically, doesn't work for him. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there.
Is it a bit mad that Waterford don't have a manager just yet? That we're not, like, there isn't a kind of clearly identified single character who they've focused their attention on and gone, yeah, you're our guy?
It is a bit weird, because you'd imagine they'd want to be out in the pitches at the moment, looking at county championship games and seeing who are the players from the club scene you'd want to get into the into the fold, but with the size of the backroom teams now, I'm sure somebody's looking out for players.
Story from Shane Kingston. Cork's Kingston admits his father had to intervene over a ridiculous schedule, flagging concerns. This is the continued preview in the Examiner all week this week ahead of the All-Ireland Hurling Under-21 final on Sunday in the Gaelic grounds. Shane Kingston's benefiting from a tapered workload these days after flirting with burnout in his talented teens. So clearly a star of most of the teams he's playing in, and a star into the future as well.
The lead picture on the back page of the Irish Daily Mail this morning is Roaring Lion. Big win there for Oisin Murphy there in New York yesterday, the Kerry-born jockey. And fighting back is the main story. Mayo Club to appeal being thrown out of County Championship, as we've been talking, and also that Colm Kavanagh story in the back of the Irish Daily Mail. We need to change, he says. He was speaking at the PwC headquarters yesterday. Back page of the Herald is Kavanagh got to believe anything can happen, says Tyrone veteran. Anything can happen. As we heard from Mickey Hart yesterday on the show speaking to Will, he says that all good records have to come to an end. So it's fighting talk from Tyrone this week, but I guess you'd expect nothing less from a camp like that. And Company can't help, United dig. So Vincent Kompany has taken a swipe at Manchester United fans by claiming that some of them talk nonsense. And I think Vincent Kompany is right there, but I don't say it's exclusive to Manchester United fans. I think all football fans talk a bit of nonsense at times. I mean, a lot. You know, the All or Nothing documentary, just, you know, when you talk about it, adding fuel to a fire, just this. If the Manchester derby just wasn't testy enough for us, you know, you just threw out this documentary and it makes things even hotter, I think. So it's going to be interesting for the first Manchester derby of the season. Speaking of which, the Irish Daily Star is Jose hasn't lost it. Players still behind boss, insists Neville. We'll get to the Sun in a moment. Just got an interesting story in all of this. But it seems that the public perception is shifting in favour of Jose Mourinho and against Ed Woodward. You've got that Colm Kavanagh story, you've got that new twist in Mayo ladies row, and you've got looks a bit grim for Pep. So Manchester City boss Pep Guardiola may have to throw rookie goalkeeper Daniel Grimshaw in at the deep end. So
the deep end being the subs bench. The deep end is the subs bench.
Yes, good point. But you know, you get an injury.
It's not that's not the deep end. A Champions League quarter-final, if you're like a reserve rookie goalkeeper, that's the deep end.
Yeah, it's actually probably he'll probably play in the Carabao Cup. So
not the deep end.
Well, you know,
a shallow end of the football pool is the Carabao Cup.
Ask any fans of that delicious Thai energy drink, and they'll tell you otherwise, Ger. The Carabao Cup is the be-all and end-all. A story that Darren brought us yesterday morning. You're taking the mickey. Arsenal star rounds on stupid critics and backs Emery to sort out struggle. Good on you, Henrik Mkhitaryan, is all I say.
With headlines like that, we need the laughing kid.
Bordeaux direct for Henry, and it seems that this is going to happen sooner rather than later. Henry is set to meet the new owners of Bordeaux before agreeing to take his first manager's job at the Ligue 1 club. I think it's fair to say he's still very untested when it comes to this. Like, everybody's weirdly applauding Thierry Henry for leaving Sky Sports and pursuing his career.
Yeah, why not? Come on.
But
and Frank Lampard.
Yeah, it's a good, brave thing to do. But that doesn't mean he's going to be a good manager. It seems
no one's saying he's going to be a good manager, but at least he's trying.
It seems that his lack of association with Sky Sports has suddenly increased his capabilities of being a football manager. Of course, logistically it does. But I think since he left Sky Sports, it's like, oh, wow, you're actually much more... I admire you much more than the guy who was assistant manager to Belgium. Nothing has changed. You're just not on television anymore. He hasn't gained the footballing knowledge.
He's giving up £4 million a year to go and do work.
It's ballsy, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that he's going to be a good manager.
No one's saying it means he's going to be a good manager. He's gone the right way, that learning.
I'm not sure about that. Actually, I just want to take one step back here to the Star. I forgot to bring you this, because on the front page of the Irish Daily Star, it says, Tigers joy for JP and Limerick. And if you flick inside to page 13, Hurling 1 reads the headline here. So the Star have got an exclusive with Tiger Woods. Tigers congrats to Limerick as he's delighted for pal JP. So
Limerick, you're a lady.
Exactly.
I'll be around later.
Bernie Maguire here writing that golf icon Tiger Woods has paid tribute to Limerick hurlers on their stunning All-Ireland win. So just to read you out some of the quotes. JP is one of my dearest friends, and it's cool his Limerick team finally won the title, as I know how passionate he is about his hurling, as well as his love of horse racing and, of course, golf, Tiger told the Star. I remember one year I was over for his Pro-Am and JP took me to a hurling match. I don't remember this. I thought it was pretty neat, but not a sport I would want to try, he laughed. I try to keep in contact with him as much as our time allows, but that's great news for JP and Limerick, and I'm really pleased for him, as JP just does so much for sport in Ireland. It was a pretty cool result last weekend for JP and Limerick. He also talks a little bit about the potential of the Ryder Cup coming to Adair Manor and saying that he'd love to come over. And he says he's not sure when he's going to be back, but he does know he's looking forward to going back to Ireland in 2020 for his Pro-Am at Adair Manor, and it's been a long time since we played the Pro-Am. So Tiger Woods back in the country in 2 years' time. So pretty neat, all you Limerick hurlers out there. That's how Tiger Woods describes you. Not bad. That's probably the biggest endorsement all week, isn't it? Now, this story, back page of the Sun. Rain, rain, go away. An exclusive by Neil Custis and Neil Ashton. The fans are planning plain protest at Chief Ed, not at the manager, at Ed Woodward. So it is going to read Ed out, LUHG. So obviously Love United, Hate Glazer. Some stars feel Jose's days are numbered, so they do balance it out with some of the stars wanting the manager out. But this says that most of the fans want Ed Woodward out, so they're going to fly a plane over on Sunday week, not for that Monday night football game against Spurs because it's too close, so it's going to be the game after that. So, you know, the public perception has clearly, with Gary Neville kind of supporting Jose Mourinho there, with the fans planning to fly a plane in protest of Ed Woodward, it seems that the perception of him has shifted well away in his direction and it's gone right in Jose's favour. We'll move on to some of the UK back pages then, and The Guardian. England search for a quick batting fix. Selector Smith will name squad for fourth test today, with James Vince hopeful of a recall on his home ground. And that is pretty much all the papers.
Okay.